When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious
Good afternoon and a happy Halloween to you wherever you are, and welcome to this very special edition of the Big Nerd Pub Quiz in association with the Dark Hedges Film Festival. Big shout out to the guys who have organised and got me on board to bring you this fantastic quiz tonight as part of the Dark Hedges Film Festival and on this very appropriate Halloween afternoon. Well, I hope you're all staying socially distant and keeping well this 2020, this rather disastrous year, let's say that. But anyway, this afternoon we're going to be bringing you 8 really, really super fun rounds all about horror movies. Do hope you enjoy them. They're written by the movie experts at Bandiflex themselves, so yes, they're fantastic fun. And yes, you'll find some really, really super interesting answers out there. So here we go. Coming up, this is how you play the quiz itself. Very, very, very simple. All you have to do to get to the answer sheet is scan the QR code on your screen at the moment with your smartphone. Give you a couple of seconds to do that. Very, very, very basic. Once that's open, this is how you take part. All you have to do is pop your email address in at the very top. Like I said before, 8 rounds, 6 questions each, only one correct answer per question. All you have to do is answer the multiple choice questions as they come up. And then once the quiz is finished, all you have to do is hit submit, and you get your scores at the end. But do stick about to get the answers at the very end of the live stream. Very, very important. Like I said before, stream the quiz on a laptop or your TV and access the answer sheet via your mobile phone. It's probably the best way to do it. As we say, it's all a bit of crack. Good luck and have some fun. Like I said, this is Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Do give us a follow on all the different social media channels if you want to shout out at any point tonight, by all means. Big Nerd Pub Quiz on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And there's tons and tons of quizzes in there to keep you occupied. We've got like loads and loads. We've done horror one before. This is the second horror movie quiz before. You can play the movie quiz that the Banterflix guys wrote a couple of months ago. Star Trek, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Simpsons. You name it, we've done it. Yes, but do check out the archive of specialist quizzes in there. And if you're looking to have a socially distanced office event, then look no further than the Big Nerd Pub Quiz itself. If you want to give me an email, by all means, Big Nerd Pub Quiz is for hire. It's fully customizable with all the different graphics. As you can see, I've done it for the guys here tonight. And I can fully customize it to any way, any specification you want, any length, any type of questions. But yes, do give us an email, bignerdpubquiz@gmail.com. And you can follow the Big Nerd Pub Quiz live on Harbourside Radio, Warren Point's newest community radio station here in beautiful Warren Point, County Down. Yes, do check that out. So, like I said before, Big Nerd Pub Quiz coming to you live here from the Harbourside studios. Like I said, this is a brand new, it's not my bedroom. The last time you would have seen me if you were playing the Banterflex quiz, I was doing this from my family bedroom, but no, I've kind of moved up in the world now. I'm in fancy new studio surroundings here in Warren Point. But anyway, enough about that. If you want to shout out at any point, do give us a message. But anyway, let's waste no time. Let's get down to it. Let's play tonight's quiz, or this afternoon's quiz. So yes, we're going to start off our very festive Halloween quiz with an entire round all about Halloween. Yes, the festival has its origins very, very close to home. So let's see how much you know about one of the greatest holidays out there. Yes, and I do say that because I rate it above Christmas. I'm one of the guys, I love Halloween more than Christmas. But anyway, let's move on. Let's get started. So round one, question number 1. Which Celtic festival inspired the modern tradition of Halloween? That's your first question tonight. So round one, question 1. Which Celtic festival inspired the modern tradition of Halloween? Yes, there's loads of theories about where the festival came from, but yes, it's very, very close for us. It's round one, question number 1. Which Celtic festival inspired the modern tradition of Halloween? That's round one, question number 1. Round one, question 2. What is another name for Halloween? So that's round one, question 2. What is another name for Halloween? Or it should be another way to put it. What's Halloween short for? I think that's the big clue for that one. So round one, question 2. What's Halloween short for? Round one, question number 3. Why did the Celtics originally wear costumes at Halloween? That's round one, question 3. So why did the Celtics originally wear costumes at Halloween? There's 4 options there in your answer sheet. Like I say, if you don't know it, you can always give it a good stab. There's obviously a logical answer for this. It's round 1, question 3. Moving on, round 1, question 4. Barmbrack is the traditional cake of Halloween, but what can one expect to find inside? There's a picture of it there. I'm going to confess I've never had it. I know there's going to be a lot of shocked people out there going, what? You never had it? But Barmbrack is the traditional cake of Halloween, but what can one expect to find inside? We used to always make apple pies and toffee apples at Halloween. That's what we used to always do. Round 1, question 4. Round 1, question number 5. Where was Abraham Bram Stoker, the creator of Dracula, born? So it's round 1, question 5. Where was Abraham Bram Stoker, the creator of Dracula, born? Actually went to the same university as this chap. Not at the same time, of course. But yeah. Where was Bram Stoker born? It's round 1, question 5. And finally, which forest in Northern Ireland is supposedly one of the most haunted forests in Europe? That's round 1, question 6. Now, how does one measure how haunted something is? Well, this is according to the ghosthuntuk.com. And that's the source we're going with in this one. So round 1, question 6. Which forest in Northern Ireland is supposedly one of the most haunted forests in Europe, if not the world? Pretty scary stuff, that. I probably won't be going near that at any point soon. Especially not tonight. Anyway, there's your roundup of questions from round number 1. Go through those one more time before we move on to the next round. So round 1, question 1. Which Celtic festival inspired the modern tradition of Halloween? 2. What's another name for Halloween? 3. Why did the Celtics originally wear costumes at Halloween? I'm not talking about the basketball team. Number 4. Barmbrack, traditional cake of Halloween, but what can one expect to find inside? 5. Where was Bram Stoker born? And 6. Which forest in Northern Ireland is supposedly one of the most haunted forests in Europe, if not the world? I'll give you a couple of seconds to dwell over those before we move on to the next round. Yes, so 1 down, 7 rounds to go. Don't forget, if you want a shout out at any point in the quiz, by all means, get in touch via all the different social media channels that I've got here in the corner. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I have to say, I don't really check the Twitter that much, but yes, do give us a message on either Instagram or Facebook. It's the best way to get me, and it'll come up directly on my phone, and I'll be able to give you a shout out. I hope you guys have all been enjoying the festival so far this week. It's been fantastic. Lots of great guest speakers and showings and short films being shown on this very, very unusual virtual festival. But yes, like I said, this is the times we live in at the moment. But anyway, moving on to the next round, round number 2. And it's all about witches. This is our first themed round of the evening. And we're talking about movies about witches. So yes, the likes of Hocus Pocus, The Craft, Witches of Eastwick, that sort of thing. This round is all about witches. So here we go, round 2, question number 1. So in The Craft, 1996, the Coven calls upon the Four Corners when they invoke the spirit of Manon. They call upon the powers of the air and intervention, the powers of fire and feeling, the powers of water and intuition. And what else? 4 rounds there. I think they're remaking The Craft, I believe. I think there's a remake coming out this year. Should be interesting to see. I remember this movie. It's so 90s. It's so brilliantly 90s, this film. Round 2, question number 1. So yes, in The Craft, in the 1996 movie The Craft, the Coven calls upon the Four Corners when they invoke the spirit of Manon. They call upon the powers of the air and intervention, powers of fire and feeling, powers of water and intuition, and what else? That's round 2, question number 1. Round 2, question 2. In The Witches of Eastwick, starring Cher, Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Jack Nicholson, what building does the mysterious new mad town buy? It's round 2, question 2 of your Witches round. So yes, cracking movie that. But yes, In The Witches of Eastwick, starring Cher, Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Jack Nicholson, what building does the mysterious new man to town buy? It's round 2, question 2. Round 2, question 3. Finish the famous line from Hocus Pocus. Oh look, another glorious morning. Finish the line. So Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy as the 3 witches there. Kathy Najimy, actually, she's the voice of Peggy Hill in King of the Hill, and also appeared in Sister Act. Sarah Jessica Parker, as we always know, as Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City, and Bette Midler's just great. Beaches. I love Bette Midler. My mum loves Bette Midler. I kind of just grew up with her in my house all the time. I finished the famous line from the movie Hocus Pocus. Oh look, another glorious morning. Blank. Round 2, question 3. Round 2, question 4. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman play sister witches in Practical Magic. What are their names in the film? That's round 2, question 4. I have to say I haven't seen this one. But there's Sandra Bullock standing beside an Aga cooker. Very, very Middle England, that. Round 2, question 4. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman play sister witches in the film Practical Magic. But what are their names in the film? It's round 2, question number 4. Round 2, question 5. In Robert Eggers' The Witch, what is the name of the rambunctious billy goat in the film, who may in fact be Satan himself? Round 2, question 5. Robert Eggers' film The Witch. What is the name of the rambunctious billy goat in the film, who may in fact be the devil? Or the devil. Round 2, question 5. And your final question, all about witches. Round 2, question 6. In the Blair Witch Project, what was the name of the woman who the locals claimed had been the Blair Witch? It's round 2, question 6. I remember when this movie came out in 99, and A, genuinely terrifying, and B, it was brilliantly marketed, because I genuinely thought it was real. I think a lot of people did, and it was like you couldn't just get your phone out and verify it. It was like, and I was a perfect age of that kind of like gullibility and believability of these type of movies, and I totally bought into it, and I still really rate it. I think it's a fantastic, kind of found film genre of a film. It's like kind of up there with Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust is kind of similar to that, and Wreck and stuff. But yeah, round 2, question 6. In the Blair Witch Project, what was the name of the woman who the locals claimed had been the Blair Witch? Or who was the Blair Witch meant to have been? Anyway, there is your roundup of questions all about witches. So yes, round 2, question 1. In the craft, the coven calls upon the 4 corners, the powers of air intervention, fire and feeling, water intuition, but what else? 2. In the Witches of Eastwick, what building does the mysterious new mad town buy? 3. Hocus Pocus, finish the line. Oh look, another glorious morning. 4. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman's names in the movie Practical Magic. 5. The name of the billy goat who might be the devil. And 6. In the Blair Witch Project, who is meant to have been the actual witch, the actual Blair Witch itself. Alright, that's 2 down now. I'm going to go on to round 3. Yes, like I said, if you want to stay in touch with the Big Nerd Pub Quiz, by all means do get in touch with all these different social media sites. But yeah, if you're looking to play, if you're, looking as though it's going to be another lockdown, so I might bring the quiz back for twice a week again. Might start doing them on Saturdays again. Mostly, at one point when I started doing the quiz, it was doing 4 of them a week, including a kids quiz. But yes, I will try to keep them up over the next couple of weeks. And if the rumors are true and we do go back into lockdown, I will attempt to probably boof them up again. To actually bring back some of the specialist quizzes, especially the Simpsons one. That was super fun. Anyway, enough on that. We've got some more 6 great rounds coming up for you. The next one, all about ghosts. And generally, I'm shocked we actually didn't have a question about the movie Ghost. But yes, 6 questions all about ghosts in movies. Let's have a look. So round 3, question 1. In Peter Jackson's The Frighteners, what job did Michael J. Fox's character have before he became a psychic private investigator? That's round 3, question 1. My Halloween costume tonight is actually Marty McFly. And I've got all the bits and bobs with me here. I'll show you some of them before we go. But I'm actually just wearing my Ghostbusters t-shirt for the night. But yes, love Michael J. But round 3, question 1. In Peter Jackson's The Frighteners, what job did Michael J. Fox characters have before he became a psychic private investigator? It's round 3, question 1, and no, not time traveler. Round 3, question 2. In Neil Jordan's 1998 comedy High Spirits, starring Peter O'Toole, who plays a rather amorous ghost who appears within the movie. So repeat that again. In Neil Jordan's 1998 comedy High Spirits, starring Peter O'Toole, who plays a rather amorous ghost who appears in the movie. Big horny ghost. Anyway, that's round 3, question number 2. Round 3, question 3. What was the name of the poltergeist that terrified a family and an entire nation in the BBC's Ghostwatch broadcast on Halloween night back in 1992? At the time, it was one of the most complained about broadcasts of all time, and it was genuinely terrifying. Craig Charles is in it. I think it's when you have Michael Aspel there, it's just like, right, he's just bringing the gravitas to it. But there you are, round 3, question 3. What was the name of the poltergeist that terrified a family and an entire nation in the BBC's Ghostwatch broadcast on Halloween night back in 1992? It's never been rebroadcast, or so I believe. I wonder if it would have the same effect these days. Round 3, question 4. In the Amityville Horror, the demonic spirit Jody takes the form of which animals? Round 3, question 4. Round 3, question 4. So in the Amityville Horror, the demonic spirit Jody takes the form of which animal? Round 3, question 5. In Poltergeist, what is on the television before it goes static in that very, very, very iconic scene? Round 3, question 5. In Poltergeist, what is on the TV before it goes static? I'm getting in the mood to actually watch some really cool horror movies tonight. What's your plans tonight? Let me know. Not that I'm going to gate crash them or anything like that. I've got my own. Just like, you know, be interesting to see how people are marking this rather unusual Halloween in 2020. The first with a full moon for quite a while, and we're not going to have a full moon on a Halloween night for quite some time. And final question about ghosts. In The Sixth Sense, what is the job of Bruce Willis's character Malcolm Crowe? Spoiler alert, he is the ghost. We had a quiz question a couple of months ago about foreign movie titles, and they basically called this out. Like, they basically said, you know, I think the Japanese title or the Chinese title was like, he's a ghost. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. You kind of just spoiled the ending there. But anyway, there's your roundup of questions all about ghosts. Go through them one more time. Round 3, question 1. Peter Jackson's The Frighteners. What job did Michael J. Fox's character have before he became a psychic private investigator. 2. In Neil Jordan's 1998 comedy High Spirits, starring Peter O'Toole, who plays a rather amorous ghost who appears within the film. 3. What's the name of the poltergeist that terrified the family in BBC's Ghost Watch? 4. In the Amityville Horror, the demonic spirit that takes the form of which animal? 5. In Poltergeist, what's on the TV before it goes static? And 6. What was Bruce Willis's job in the movie The Sixth Sense? I think I was way too young to see that in the cinema, but I managed to get in to see The Sixth Sense. It really should not have happened. It's one of those ones. We've all snuck into movies which we've been a little bit too young for. Anyway, okay, so 3 down. Moving on to round number 4, and we've done witches, we've done ghosts. This one, Stephen King, master of horror himself. 6 questions, all about his works. Let me know what your favorite Stephen King book is. I would have to say mine would be... I'm a big fan of Carrie. I really, really like Carrie. And The Shining's fantastic as well. But also as a movie too. Numerous Stephen King remakes and adaptations. We could have had an entire quiz all about Stephen King himself, but we've got a round. That's what's going to have to do tonight. But here we go. Round 4, question 1. In The Shining, Danny Torrance is advised to stay away from room 237, but what's the actual number in the book? So this will test your knowledge between the changes of the book and the movie. Interestingly, reading about Kubrick and how he approached the rewrite or the actual adaptation of The Shining itself, which Stephen King didn't like, but bizarrely I actually prefer, because it's just more ambiguous. But yes, round 4, question 1. In The Shining, Danny Torrance is advised to stay away from room 237. What's the name of the room in the book, though? Round 4, question 2. Which film adaptation of his work has Stephen King not made an appearance in? For clarity, if you're not playing this using the answer sheet, I'll give you 4 options here for this one. Is it Pet Sematary, Maximum Overdrive, The Mangler, or Thinner? So yes, round 4, question 2. In which film adaptation of his work has Stephen King not made an appearance in? Gonna have to look that one up. Is he like Hitchcock in that sense, or Stan Lee? It just kind of pops up in his movies. Wasn't too sure, but in which film adaptation of his work has Stephen King not made an appearance in? Pet Sematary, Maximum Overdrive, The Mangler, Thinner. It's round 4, question 2. Round 4, question 3. What is the breed of dog in the film Cujo? It's one I haven't seen, actually. It's whetted my appetite. This is a quiz, actually. We're putting this together today. Can't take credit for writing it, though. Big shout out to the guys who have. The guys at Banterflix, movie experts themselves. That's round 4, question 3. Round 4, question 4. Who plays the devilish shop owner Leland Grant in the 1993 adaptation of Needful Things? It's round 4, question 4. So round 4, question 4. Who plays the devilish shop owner Leland Gaunt, in the 1993 adaptation of The Needful Things? It's round 4, question 4. Round 4, question 5. What was the make of the car in the film adaptation of Christine? Round 4, question 5. So round 4, question 5. What was the make of car in the film adaptation of Christine? And finally, Tim Curry version scared the bejesus out of me when I was a kid. Round 4, question 6. How many years does the creature that takes the form of Pennywise the clown take a break from feeding? Round 4, question 6. Yeah, I'll tell you this. It was one of those things that, like, when I was a kid, my cousins used to have this on tape and show it to me and when I was very young. And they wouldn't call him Pennywise. They used to call him It the Clown, which is like, what? For years, I always thought it was called It the Clown as opposed to, like, Pennywise. But there we are. So how many years does the creature that takes the form of Pennywise the clown take a break from feeding? And there's your roundup there of Stephen King questions. So yes, round 4, question 1. In The Shining, Danny Torrance survives to stay from room 237. But what's the number in the book? 2. Which film adaptation of his work has Stephen King not made an appearance in? Pet Sematary, Maximum Overdrive, The Mangler, or Thinner? 3. What was the name of the dog in the film Cujo? 4. Who plays the devilish shop owner Leyland Gaunt in the 1993 adaptation Needful Things? 5. What is the make of the car in the film adaptation Christine? And 6. How many years does the creature that takes the form of Pennywise in The Clown take a break from feeding? That's all your questions about Master of Horror, American writer Stephen King. No one comes close. Alright, that's round 4 over, 4 down, 4 to go. We're at halfway point on our quiz. Brings us right up to half 4. So yes, hope you're all enjoying tonight's Halloween horror movie special. And we've got 4 more great rounds for you coming up. If you want to shout out, by all means, do get in touch with me at all different social media accounts there. And like I said, Big Nerd Pub Quiz on every week on Sunday nights on Harbourside Radio. So if you want to check that out, it's a general knowledge quiz every Sunday at 8 p.m. on the Harbourside Radio Facebook page and on the YouTube channel, broadcasting simultaneously, and on the Facebook as well. So plenty of quizzes there. And like I said before, there's tons and tons of quizzes that you can play on the site. Doing a big Star Trek quiz in a couple of weeks for the guys who couldn't make the big Star Trek convention. I think it's the 14th, Saturday the 14th. So if you're a big Trekkie, don't miss out on that. And you can replay any of the quizzes at any time. Going to keep them going over lockdown. If we, like I said, if in fact we do go back into lockdown, I'll try my best to get them done and get them out to you. All right, so yes, do stay in touch. As I said, use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz. And if, like I said, if you feel like this quiz was good, by all means, and you'd like to buy me a price of a pint or a cup of coffee, by all means, you can donate to the Patreon page. That's Big Nerd Pub Quiz at Patreon and PayPal. That's big thanks to everyone who's been supporting the quiz over the last couple of months. It really has been a massive help for me. Thank you very much. Anyway, moving on, round 5. Like I said, we've done ghosts, we've done witches, we've done vampires, and now we're going to do vampires. Yes. No, we haven't done vampires. We're doing vampires. Couldn't do a horror movie quiz without doing vampires. Anyway, let's move on. Round 5, question number 1. Where was The Lost Boys set? I absolutely love The Lost Boys. Fantastic movie. But a friend of mine was saying to me, there's a better movie out there. There's another one that's just as good. Near Dark. That's it. I was actually explaining, there's a big big crossover there with Aliens actors, Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, and Jeanette Goldstein, all in it. But not talking about Near Dark, we're talking about The Lost Boys. Round 5, question 1: where was The Lost Boys set? Round 5, question 2: Sir Christopher Lee played Dracula on screen several times. But how many times did he actually play Bram Stoker's iconic creation in a Hammer-backed production? That's round 5, question 2. Oh, I forgot to mention, yes, Christopher Lee, of course, very famous, playing the Bond villain Scaramanga opposite Roger Moore. But a very, very sad day for cinema fans out there. We've lost the original, the great Sean Connery today. And as a Bond fan myself, I've done a James Bond quiz earlier on in the year. Huge Bond fan I am. And very, very upset to hear that Sean has passed away. And 007 has hung up his Walther PPK for the last time. Big loss. But yes, round 5, question 2. Sir Christopher Lee played Dracula on screen several times. How many times did he play Bram Stoker's iconic creation in a Hammerback production? If you're looking for a good Hammer horror movie, Devil Rides Out. Christopher Lee's in that as well, but he plays this mysterious kind of like wizard. It's great. Round 5, question 2. One of my favorite Hammer horror movies. Round 5, question 3. Who plays the vampire hunter turned TV host Peter Vincent in Tom Holland's Fright Night? That's round 5, question 3. So round 5, question 3. Third question about vampires. Who plays the vampire hunter turned TV show host Peter Vincent in Tom Holland's Fright Night? Moving on to your next question. Round 5, question 4. In Interview with a Vampire, which character is the interviewee? Questions later there. Move his picture in a little bit. There we are. Looks a bit better. Round 5, question 4. In which character is the interviewee in the movie Interview with a Vampire? Round 5, question 5. Who originally played Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Now that is an interesting question. I'm gonna throw that. So who originally played Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Joss Whedon creation there. Famous TV show. But did you know there was a movie as well? There you are. Anyway, that's enough clues about that. But round 5, question 6. In Hotel Transylvania, who lends his voice to the character of Jonathan, a human who falls in love with Dracula's daughter? That's round 5, question 6. Yes, very, very family-friendly movie there. Round 5, question 6. In Hotel Transylvania, who lends his voice to the character of Jonathan, a human who falls in love with Dracula's daughter? And there's your roundup of vampire questions. Let's go through those one more time. Round 5, question 1. Where was the Lost Boys set? Round 5, question 2. How many times did Christopher Lee play Bram Stoker's Dracula in Hammer horror movies? 3. Who plays vampire hunter turned TV host Peter Vincent in Tom Holland's Fright Night? 4. In Interview with a Vampire, which character is the interviewee? 5. Who originally played Buffy the Vampire Slayer? And 6. In Hotel Transylvania, who lends his voice to the character of Jonathan, human who falls in love with Dracula's daughter? Leave this up now. Alright, so that's round 5 over and done with. Okay, like I was saying earlier on, so we've done vampires, we've done ghosts, we've done witches. So what logically would come up next? Yes, we couldn't do a horror movie quiz without a round about zombies. Yes, ever popular. It's one of those things, you never really hear them being called zombies in movies. It's odd. But anyway, round 6, all about zombies. Let's hear it. So yes, round 6, question 1. According to the film Zombieland, what is the rule number 4 for surviving the zombie apocalypse? Yes, Jesse Eisenberg's character has a series of rules. What's he called again? He's called Columbus. He's from Columbus, Ohio. Round 6, question 1. According to the film Zombieland, what is rule number 4 for surviving the zombie apocalypse? I love Woody Harrelson in this, by the way. So good. Round 6, question 2. What's the name of the main zombie in George A. Romero's Day of the Dead? Yes, George A. Romero, king of the zombie movies. A Night of the Living Dead. Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Diary of the Dead. Have to say, I absolutely rate the remake, the Dawn of the Dead remake, the 2004 one. Totally rate it. It's really, really good. Round 6, question 2. What's the name of the main zombie in George A. Romero's Day of the Dead? Round 6, question 3. What is the name of Sean's girlfriend in Shaun of the Dead? Also 2004, possibly the greatest zombie movie spoof ever made. Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. What's the name of Sean's girlfriend in the movie Shaun of the Dead? First of the Cornetto trilogy. Round 6, question 4. In the movie Return of the Living Dead, what is the reason for the dead coming back to life? If you've seen it, you'll know, but it's round 6, question 4. Round 6, question 5. Train to Busan takes place in which Asian country? Sorry, I didn't repeat that last one. Just so you know it, in Return of the Living Dead was the reason for the dead coming back to life. Round 6, question 4. Moving on, round 6, question 5. Train to Busan takes place in which Asian country? Yes, some Far East producing some of the best horror movies of the last 20, 30 years. But in which country is Train to Busan? Where does that take place? Round 6, question 5. And finally, round 6, question 6. What's the name of the unhinged professor who uses an experimental green liquid to bring back the dead in the movie The Reanimator? Interestingly played by Jeffrey Combs. And if you're a big Star Trek fan, you'll recognize him as Wei-Un, as Brunt. Several characters he plays in a lot of in Star Trek. He's one of these actors who's probably been in makeup more times. You wouldn't recognize him walking down the street, but he's an Andorian one day, the next he's a Ferengi. And a Vorta for the Dominion, DS9. I actually have met Jeffrey Combs. He's a regular attendee at Star Trek conventions and plays with the Enterprise Blues Band, which actually perform at conventions, which is fantastic. They're made up of ex-Trek actors. Max Grodenchak, Vaughn Armstrong, and they're fantastic and really, really great to see them play. But yes, Jeffrey Combs. But what was the name of the unhinged professor who uses an experimental green liquid to bring the dead back to life in the movie Reanimator? There's your roundup there. Questions all about zombies. So, round 6, question 1. According to the movie Zombieland, what's rule number 4 for surviving the zombie apocalypse? 2. What is the name of the main zombie in George A. Romero's Day of the Dead? 3. What's the name of Sean's girlfriend in Shaun of the Dead? 4. In Return of the Living Dead, what's the reason for the dead coming back to life? 5. In the Train to Busan takes place in which Asian country? And 6. What's the name of the unhinged professor who uses an experimental green liquid to bring the dead back to life in the movie Reanimator? Alright, round 6 all done. We've got 2 more to go. Hope you're all staying safe, and hope you all have having a decent Halloween given what's happened. Like, I know myself, I'm going to definitely dress up tonight, and I've got some fireworks I'm going to let off in the garden. So yeah, that'll be fun. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We've got 2 more rounds to go as part of the Dark Hedges Film Festival. Let's go on, round 7. And this is a pretty unique round. And I have to say, when this got sent over to me today, or the other day, I was so stoked to see this round. I absolutely love the 9-9. 9-9. And really happy to see this included in the mix here. But yes, as you know, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine has special Halloween episodes. For round 7, question 1. What item does Jake bet Captain Holt that he can steal during the very first Halloween heist? I love the way they just ramp it up every season. It's a great show. Round 7, question 1. What item does Jake bet Captain Holt that he can steal during the first Halloween heist? Bet y'all didn't expect to see this run come in. It's round 7, question 1. What item does Jake Peralta bet Captain Holt he can steal during the very first one? Round 7, question 2. Season 1 Halloween episode features the first ever title of Amy's sex tape joke. But what is it? Yes, we all know the recurring title of Amy's sex tape joke actually started in this episode. It's mental. I didn't know that, actually. I completely forgot. But yes, Season 1's Halloween episode features the very first ever title of Amy's sex tape joke. But what is it? Round 7, question 2. Round 7, question 3. But what is the name of the janitor that Amy disguises herself in order to win Halloween Heist 3? It's round 7, question 3. Amy Santiago. So what is the name of the janitor Amy disguises herself in order to win Halloween Heist 3? Round 7, question 4. In Halloween 3 again, what is Hitchcock and Scully's couple's costume? Salt and pepper? Salt and salt? Pepper and pepper? Or salt and vinegar? Don't know. I can give you the options there. Help you along. I love the way Boyle really loves Halloween and dressing up. I'm kind of like Boyle. I just kind of, I totally identify with that. Love Halloween. But yes, in Halloween 3 was Hitchcock and Scully's couple's costume. I wonder if that's an odd to like Alfred Hitchcock and Mulder and Scully or something like that. Don't know. Anyway, round 7, question 5. What disguise does Gina use to sneak back into the precinct during the 4th Halloween heist? Probably one of the best episodes. I love that episode where Gina totally owns it. So yes, round 7, question 5. What disguise does Gina use to sneak back into the precinct during the 4th Halloween heist? She has to be my favorite. It's one of those shows, every time I watch it, I get a new favorite character. But Gina's definitely up there. She's definitely one of my favorites. Round 7, question 5. What disguise did she use to sneak back into the precinct during the 4th Halloween heist? And finally, in season 6, on what day did the heist take place instead of Halloween? It's round 7, question 6. So yes, what day did the heist take place instead of Halloween in Brooklyn Nine-Nine? And there's your roundup of questions there. All about the 9-9. Nice. Anyway, what item does Jake bet Captain Holt he can steal during the first Halloween heist? 2. Season 1's Halloween episode features the first ever title of Amy's sex tape, but what is it? 3. What's the name of the janitor Amy disguises herself in order to win the Halloween heist 3? In the same episode, what's Hitchcock and Scully's couple costume? 5. What disguise does Gina use to sneak back into the precinct during the 4th Halloween heist? And 6. In season 6, on what day did the heist take place? Leave this up. There were a couple of seconds for you guys to suss them out. All right, so 7 down and 1 more to go. I'm actually just looking up here. We've got some more events coming up today. Not just the only thing here. Afterwards, at 5 o'clock, we have the Women Make Horror panel discussion. That's on, if you look on the the Dark Hedges Films site, or Dark Hedges Film Festival site, or at banterflix.com. At 6:30, the short film competition winners announcement will be done on Facebook Live. That'll be hosted by Jem, I'm assuming. Shining. 7, Hostage to the Devil podcast is going out live. At 8, we've got the Aisling Clark interview. And at 9, we've got Scoring Horror with composer Christopher Young. So all our panels can be watched on the Dark Hedges Film Festival's Facebook page or on the festival's digital player. And a big round of applause to all the guys who've been putting this together, especially Jim, who's been working super hard. And I know he was massive busy, but he got me on board ages and ages ago, and like I said, really happy to take part. And big thanks to the guys for writing these fantastic questions. Like, it really saved me a job of having to do them myself. Not that I say I don't enjoy it, but like I said, they're fantastic. And like I said, one more round to go. What else could it be? It's a Simpsons round, and we're doing the 3 House of Horror. 6 questions all about those themed episodes. We did one of these in the Simpsons quiz a couple of months ago, which is super fun. But like I said, they're fantastic episodes because they allow the writers to kind of get more surreal and do silly things, which, without having to reset the characters, or, allowing them to reset the characters, of course. But anyway, 6 questions all about the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Don't forget, at the very end, once you hit submit, you will get your answers, you'll get your scores, but do stick about for the answers. Anyway, let's get kicked off. Round 8, question 1 in Treehouse of Horror 4. Homer sells his soul for what? It's round 8, question 1. Yes, we actually found out that Ned Flanders is the devil. But yes, round 8, question 1 in Treehouse of Horror 4. Homer sells his soul for what? I think it's a fairly easy question. You'll totally get that if you know Homer Simpson. Round 8, question 2 in Treehouse of Horror 1. Raven segment is based on a short story by which author? Yes, the segment itself was very famously narrated by James Earl Jones. That's round 8, question 2, though. Quote with the Raven. So, Treehouse of Horror 1, the Raven segment is based on a short story by which famous author? Round 8, question 3. In Treehouse of Horror 7, Bart has an evil twin by the name of what? Yes, they keep him in the attic and sell him fish heads. It's not sell him and give him fish heads to eat. Anyway, round 8, question 3. In Treehouse of Horror 7, Bart has an evil twin by the name of what? Round 8, question 4. In Treehouse of Horror 5, the Shining segment, who helps Bart with his new ability? Interestingly enough, it's one of those things, if you grow up watching The Simpsons, it's so littered full of movie references that by the time you actually watch the movies, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen this in The Simpsons, I know what's going to happen. Blood usually gets off at the second floor. But yes, round 8, question 4. In Treehouse of Horror 5, The Shining, the Shining, as we should say, do you want to get sued? Who helps Bart with his new ability? Round 8, question 5, our penultimate question for today. In Treehouse of Horror 10, Super Friends segment, Lisa gets which superpower? That's round 8, question 5. In Treehouse of Horror 10, Super Friends segment, Lisa gets which superpower? I think that's the one. Is that the one with like Lucy Lawless? I think, yeah, she's in that. Yeah. It's a comic book guy is the villain. And finally, here's your final question for today for this Halloween horror movie special. In Treehouse of Horror 28, The Exorcist. Who gets possessed by a demon? It's round 8, question 6. Final question of the day. I gotta be honest, I haven't seen this episode because it's beyond season 10, so I don't really watch that beyond that. But anyway, 2000 in the 2 Treehouse of Horror 28, The Exorcist, who gets possessed by a demon. There's your roundup of questions all about The Simpsons. So round 8, question 1 in Treehouse 4, Homer sells his soul for what? Number 2, in The Raven, is based on which short story by which author? 3, Bart has an evil twin by the name of who? 4, in the Shining segment, who helps Bart with his new ability? 5, in the Super Friends segment, Lisa gets which superpower? And 6, in The Exorcist, who gets possessed by a demon? Well, that is it for today's quiz. Thank you so much for playing. Hope you all enjoyed it. And like I said, it was great. Absolute pleasure to host it as part of this Dark Hedges Film Festival. And I hope you're all having a safe and fun Halloween, regardless of the circumstances, I know. But we can always find ways to just gorge Canada ourselves and pick out and watch some really scary movies. But like I said, I love Halloween. I'm definitely not going to let it go amiss. Anyway, before we move on, just a couple of wee things. I've got like my Marty McFly costume with me. Just show you this very, very quickly. I've even got I got the number plate here. This is actually signed by Bob Gill, the guy who wrote Back to the Future. All the way over here. Even got my hoverboard here. Fortunately, it doesn't work. And even if it did, it'd be completely useless to me because I don't know how to skit. And I've got my life preserver over there, or a body warmer, and denim jacket all ready to go after this, you know. But yes, that's what I'm dressing up as tonight. Gonna enjoy it as best I can. Anyway, here's your answers that you've all been waiting for tonight. So, let's go all the way back up to the start. So your round one answers, to remind you of the questions again. So Samhain is the festival that inspired the modern tradition of Halloween, or as the Americans like to call it, Samhain. But yes, it's got a resurgence of popularity, actually, to refer to it as Samhain again. 2, the other name for Halloween is All Hallows Eve. 3, the Celtics originally wore costumes of Halloween to scare the spirits. 4, Bambrack, you would find an earring in it. 5, Bram Stoker was from Dublin, he went to Trinity. And 6, the Haunted Forest is apparently Ballybowly Forest. So interesting, yes, Minisau, yeah, the Irish for November is Minasauru, which is kind of like Samhain. Yeah, Minasaurn, Minanolog, which is the month of Christmas, the month of Samhain. Minanolog is month of Christmas, and Minasaurn is the month of that. Anyway, my Irish is very rusty. Your next round here, round 2 answers, all about witches. So in the craft, it was the power of Mother Earth, and the Mother and Earth. That was the answer for number 1. The Lennox Mansion is the mysterious new man buys in the Witches of Eastwick. Oh, look, another glorious morning makes me sick, is the famous line from Hocus Pocus. 4, Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are Sally and Gillian in Practical Magic. Black Phillip is the name of the goat in The Witch by Robert Egger. And Ely Kedward is the Blair Witch in the movie The Blair Witch. All about ghosts, this one. So Michael J. Fox was an architect before he became a private psychic investigator in The Frighteners. Liam Neeson plays the horny ghost in High Spirits. Mr. Pipes is the name of the poltergeist in Ghost Watch. Pig is the demonic spirit that takes the form of a pig in the Amityville Horror. It's the national anthem playing on the TV before the static in the poltergeist. The psychologist is Bruce Willis's character in The Sixth Sense. Room 217 is the room in the book The Shining, not 237. So, Stephen King didn't make an appearance in The Mangler out of those 4, Pet Sematary, Maximum Overdrive, and Thinner, but he didn't make an appearance in The Mangler. So the dog is a St. Bernard in the movie Cujo. Max von Sydow plays the Devil's Shop owner Leland Gaunt in 1993 adaptation of Needful Things. Plymouth is the name of the make of the car in the movie Christine. And every 27 years is when Pennywise comes back. Your round 5 answers. The vampire round. Lost Boys Descent in Santa Clara. Christopher Lee has appeared in 7 Hammer horror movies as Dracula. Roddy McDowall is the TV host in Fright Night. Lois DePoint. So Brad Pitt plays Lois DePoint, and he's interviewed by Christian Slater's character Malloy in the movie. Christy Swanson was the original Buffy the Vampire Killer before Sarah Michelle Gellar, because Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, was released in 1992, all the way before the 1998 TV series. And Andy Samberg does the voice of the character Jonathan in the movie Hotel Transylvania. Round 6 answers. So, rule 4 for surviving the zombie apocalypse is seatbelts. The name of the main zombie in Day of the Dead is Bub. Sean's girlfriend is Liz in Shaun of the Dead. Its toxic gas brings the living dead back to life in Return of the Living Dead. Train to Busan, clues in the name there really, it's South Korea. And the unhinged professor is called Herbert in Reanimator. Your next round there, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So yes, the Medal of Honor, sorry, the Medal of Valor was Jake's object, or MacGuffin, in the first ever Halloween heist. Kind, Sober and Fully Dressed is the title of Amy's first ever sex tape. Al is the name of the janitor that Amy disguises herself in order to win Halloween Heist 3. Hitchcock and Scully are Pepper and Pepper. Amy's pantsuit is the disguise that Gina uses to sneak back in. And Cinco de Mayo is the other time, other than Halloween, where they do the heist. And your final round there, all about the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Homer sells a soul for a donut. The Raven segment is by Edgar Allan Poe. Bart's evil twin is called Hugo. Willie tells Bart his abilities in The Shining. Lisa's power is super strength in the Super Friends episode. And Maggie's the one who gets possessed in The Exorcist. I think the clue was in the title there. Anyway, thank you so much to Jim for getting me to do this today. Always a pleasure to host these Big Nerd Pub Quizzes for you guys during lockdown. Like I said, I'm going to keep them going over the next couple of weeks. So, like I said before, I'm always here. So, yes, do get in touch with me on all the different social media channels there, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you've got any ideas for quizzes or like even to come on, do a guest round, you can record it from home by all means. And don't forget, you can also hire Big Nerd Pub Quiz as well for your socially distanced events. By all means, drop me a line, info at BigNerdPubQuiz@gmail.com. That's the best place to get me. I'm going to repeat this quiz tomorrow on Harbourside Radio. I only have the strength to do one this week. But I'm going to repeat this horror movie quiz tomorrow. So if you haven't seen this, then yes, do tell your friends if they want to play it. They can play it again tomorrow on the Big Nerd Pub Quiz channel. Anyway, next Big Nerd Pub Quiz itself, that won't be a horror movie based, will be on the Sunday the 8th of November on Harbourside.com. Massive thanks to the guys, and congratulations for setting up a film festival in the midst of all this insanity. And yes, plenty of events there on the Dark Hedges Film site, if you can check that out. Thanks again for joining me. I've been Mark Hughes. Have a very happy Halloween. Stay safe. I'll see you again soon. Good night.